Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
In a previous halacha,
we discussed the laws relating to relatives hugging and kissing each other. And we stated the ruling in the Shulchan Aruch that it's forbidden to hug and kiss a relative, with the exception to a mother and a daughter. We will now discuss this halacha in further detail. A parent and child relationship we see in the Gemara and Mishnah in Kedushin receives a special status with regards to the general prohibitions that we give towards physical closeness and endearment that ervas, relatives, may not have. The Gemara states in Kedushin in the Mishnah, Daf Pei Amud Beis, that it is permitted for a father and daughter, a mother and son, to have yichud with each other. And it is likewise permitted while the child is still small and young, not yet physically developed, for them to even sleep with each other, even if they are not properly clothed. Based on this, the Mechaber rules in the Shulchan Aruch and Even Ezer, chapter 21, halacha 7, that there is no prohibition for a father to hug and kiss his daughter, or for a mother to hug and kiss her son. As we see in the Mishnah, that they have a different status than regular relatives. This allowance applies irrelevant of the age of the child. Even if the daughter is very old, already a mature adult, there is still no prohibition at all for the father to hug or kiss his daughter. And it's only regarding sleeping together that the Mishnah limits it to a specific age. Thus, a mother may hug and kiss her son of any age, and a father may hug and kiss his daughter of any age. Regarding grandparents, may a grandfather hug his granddaughter, and may a grandmother hug her grandson. So interestingly, although we don't find in the actual Gemara or Shulchan Aruch any discussion regarding if a grandparent is an exception to the general prohibition of hugging and kissing a relative, practically the later Achreidim write that the same way we give allowance to the father and mother to hug their child of the opposite gender, the same applies for a grandparent. Thus, a grandmother may hug and kiss her grandson, and a grandfather may hug and kiss his granddaughter of any age. An interesting question discussed in Poskim is, does this apply even if the child is married? One marries off his daughter, she's now an Ashes Ish. May the father still continue hugging and kissing his daughter? May the grandfather still continue hugging and kissing his married granddaughter? So regarding this question, we have a dispute amongst Poskim. We have a long list of Poskim that write and rule that there's no prohibition at all. As the same way we're allowing a father to hug and kiss his daughter when she's not married, even though it's an erva that has a chiyuv kares, based on biblical law, what difference does it make if now there's an additional erva added, which is that she's an Ashes Ish, a married woman? Why should that make any difference in the equation of allowance? However, there are other Poskim that explicitly write that the allowance only applies to a single daughter or granddaughter and not to one who is married. Practically, the halacha is that it is mutter, it is permitted to hug and kiss a married granddaughter or married daughter, as this is the ruling of the majority of Poskim. However, certainly one who decides to be stringent upon himself. He is not doing something wrong, and he's not doing something unacceptable. However, one must always know that in these things, since it relates to another person, and deciding not to hug or kiss a daughter or granddaughter also affects them, obviously one should not place his personal chumrah in a way that it will trample on the other person's feelings. And thus such a chumrah should only be kept if it is mutually agreed upon between the relations.
one matter that still requires clarification. In the above said allowance for a father, mother, grandfather, grandmother to hug and kiss their children and grandchildren of opposite gender, is may these acts of affection take place even in a public setting in front of other people who are not relatives of these individuals, such as if a grandson meets his grandmother on the street, may he hug her? What about his mother? May he give a hug to his mother? May a father hug his daughter, his older daughter, an adult daughter, in public? So this question touches upon the general prohibition recorded in the Shulchan Aruch and Even Ezer, in the Ramah, based on the Rishonim, against showing acts of affection in public amongst a couple, due to causing a stumbling block to the onlookers who will then have forbidden thoughts due to this. and therefore it's an absolute prohibition for a couple to hug and kiss and hold hands and the like in public in front of others. However, regarding family members of parents and grandparents and daughters and granddaughters, etc., the Poskim, the Achreinim, explicitly write that it's not the same level of stringency, and it's permitted for them to engage in non-affectionate touch with each other, even in public, as people know that these actions between the family members have absolutely no forbidden or erotic feelings attached with them, and therefore won't cause them to sin. However, regarding if even affectionate touch is permitted between the two, such as actual hugging and kissing, it's possible to learn both ways into these poskim, that perhaps it's permitted and perhaps it's forbidden, and only by unaffectionate touch do we have a leniency between these relations to even do so in public, but affectionate touch it would be usher. And practically one should be stringent in this matter, being that the entire svara, logic, and defense of allowing public touch by the above mentioned relatives is under the assumption that the onlookers know that they are relatives. But if it is not known, and people can just think that it's friends, and not a mother-child, father-son, or grandson relationship, then it could bring to forbidden thoughts. And therefore, practical halacha is as follows. Although we mention that it's permitted for a parent and grandparent to hug and kiss their daughter and son, or granddaughter and grandson, practically, this should not be done in public in view of others, unless the child is a young child, a small boy, a small girl, in which, of course, there is no issue involved at all, and the above discussion is specifically regarding adult children and grandchildren.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.